think we're close enough. Let's go ahead and start. All right, welcome everyone. We're going to start with the Volunteer Pension Board meeting, and yeah, we do. So we will start with flag salute before we go into the Volunteer Pension Board meeting.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Yeah, we changed that. Well, let's just go ahead and do a roll call.
First one, us up.
Chuck Robert,
Bruce Ansel.
Larry McPhail,
Jason Netterby.
All right, to the business volunteer pension board meeting. The first item of business is the approval of October 17th minutes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Volunteer separation. Chief?
Yes, sir. There's 3 separations this month. Mr. Benjamin Segura Rivas, he did not pass his national EMT, so was not able to complete his course of study. Josh Wheeler just never showed up. And the third is Geraldine Clicks, who was a volunteer with District 4 for a long time and then came over to District 21 with consolidation. She currently works at the Washington County Sheriff's Office and is quite involved in community activities and just doesn't have the time anymore.
Very good. All right. Is there a motion to approve the 3 volunteer separations?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Any other business for the volunteer pension board? If not, we'll move to adjourn the meeting. Second.
Yeah. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And we will open the regular Board of Commissioners meeting. Is there any public comment? If I could just have a moment before we get on to the really super important item here today, which is the promotion of one of our members. Yesterday, I attended the memorial for Chief Michael Knapp, and I would just like us to have a moment of silence for him because of his extensive commitment to the community and assistance with a ton of public safety issues. So if we please have a moment of silence. Thank you. Chief.
All right. Well, it's with great pleasure today that we do have a promotion. Someone's been waiting a long time, so we kind of moved this thing up, and I'd like to present firefighter Senior Lieutenant Chuck Ship. Please come forward. So Chuck's been with the district since 2006. I was actually junior to him on my very first crew here. So, you may not remember, but I do. It's almost kind of like this. Would you want your wife to come up? All right, so we're going to swear you in, and then we'll have your wife pin on your badge. All right, if you raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
I, Chuck Ship,
Do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
to do my duty as a lieutenant for North Wacom
to do my duty for North Wacom as lieutenant for North Wacom
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my abilities,
to serve my commanding officers with respect and dignity,
to serve my commanding officers with respect and dignity,
to serve the citizens of Wacom County
to serve the citizens of Wacom County
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
with compassion, courage, and integrity,
and to uphold the laws and constitutions
to uphold the laws and Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the state of Washington,
the state of Washington,
and North Wacom Fire and Rescue.
and North Wacom Fire and Rescue.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. James got it. Perfect. Got your camera? Draw blood. That's fake, sorry. Jason said that mistake.
Yeah. Good job.
Congratulations, sir.
I know. So this meeting goes on and on and on and on, so if you're here just for the honors to Chuck, you're certainly welcome to not have to sit through the rest of this. Unless you're on duty, then you. All right, one of the purposes of this meeting today and why it's called a special meeting is because we have to have a public hearing to address a statutory allowed 1% increase in our tax assessment. We meet all the criteria to do that, and therefore we have a resolution prepared, but before we do that, we open it up as a public meeting, public hearing for anyone in the public who may want to comment on our desire to raise the taxes by 1%. And for those of you who don't know, we are limited by statute to only be able to annually raise our taxes by 1%, which does not keep up with our current operating budget. So we have to get creative either by new construction or mitigation fees or grants or any other creative legal ways of raising money. To put it in perspective, this 1% will raise just over $61,000 to our budget. Just reviewing the ESCI report, we spend over $120,000 on maintenance of stations that we don't staff. So this doesn't even cover half of the cost of maintaining unstaffed fire stations. The other big piece is a muchly needed and TA'd labor agreement that adds another $200,000 to our operating budget. So the $61,000 is a mere pittance, but if anyone in the public would like to address why we should or should not approve that, I'd be happy to hear it. If not, we'll move forward with the resolution. Yeah.
I would recommend you just formally open the hearing and then if there's no comment, we'll close it for purposes of the record.
Okay. Let it be noted that the hearing is formally open. Any comment? Hearing seeing none, I will formally close the hearing. And we have a resolution before us, Ben. It's 2019-11, 1% increase. It was in your packet. Is there a motion to approve that resolution?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution 2019-11, 1% increase.
Second. Any more discussion than I've already discussed? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Consent agenda is our next item of business. This consent agenda includes the October 17th regular meeting minutes, the November 12th special meeting minutes, the November 15th special meeting minutes, the staff reports, the financial reports, and the voucher, payroll, and benefits. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve.
Second.
Is there any items that you wish to discuss or remove?
No, I have none.
Okay, so I will read in the totals. The total revenue for October, because it's a property tax collecting period, was $2,467,793.02. The total expenditures for the month of November were $601,149.21. Employee direct deposit payroll, $314,873.23. Benefits voucher, $198,032.01. Monthly expenditure vouchers, $79,674.44. Capital projects apparatus, $8,569.53. There's been a motion and a second and no objection to anything else. All in favor of approving the consent agenda?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Commissioner meeting reports is the next item. Did you have anything?
So I had the opportunity last month to attend the convention for the Fire Commissioners Association to Tulalip. Rich was there, gave a very good presentation along with several other lawyers who gave presentations on what not to do as a fire district. So some of those things included bid laws, family leave, litigation, how to handle litigation, quite a few things. So I can send out a little generic report to you guys to let you know. So Chris Parks from District Court was also there. She's updated on how bid laws have changed for the following year. And that's all I got.
Yeah, I have no reports.
Okay. Probably since our last meeting, we had a couple of contract negotiation meetings, and it went extremely well, in my opinion. We met actually 5 times, correct? Which is a record for me, and as far as being not very many. And a lot of that was to the hard work of the negotiating team from the local, as well as Kevin Taylor, the gentleman that we hired to assist us with that process, who both parties did a lot of work behind the scenes, emailing back and forth, so that when we actually got into the meetings, a lot of the information was already vetted and prepared and ready to go, and was quickly TA'd and we moved on. So it's my understanding that the labor group actually has voted to ratify that contract, and we'll be addressing that issue later on in our meeting. So thank you to the local for their strong work, and I think we have created a new and better relationship at the bargaining table, which was certainly one of my goals from the beginning, to have this completed before the end of the year, and it looks like we're on track to do that. The other, I mean, I don't know if it's an actual meeting, but had the opportunity to meet with the volunteer group the other night, Monday night, I guess it was. Great pouring down rain night. It was nice to meet and see all those guys coming out, the tender group at Delta Station. Both chiefs were there, training captain was there, and I think it was a great opportunity to share our vision and direction. I got a pretty strong feeling that they appreciated us showing up, and thanks to Mike for being here today and kind of keeping an eye on things and keeping us in the loop with our Chief, do you have anything else that I may have left out?
So,
Alright. Local 106, anyone want to report?
Did Ken send you a report?
No, I did not.
So we have the turkey basket thing next week, so anybody that wants to help, it's with the Blaine Community Assistance Program. So that's Tuesday and Wednesday, or
Just Tuesday.
So
at
Tuesday,
11.
Mike Nelson's the contact for that if you'd like to help on Tuesday. It's in Blaine over by the Cops Cutter, help, give out turkey baskets to the community. Other than that, thank you guys for all your hard work with the contract, working with us. We appreciate it. So that's all I got.
Alright, thank you. Mr. Davis, any legal issues?
Not this week.
Okay. Unfinished business. The master plan done by ESCI has sent out a draft for review. It's our hope that that will get reviewed and sent back in time so that they can make a presentation at our December meeting.
that's what we're doing right now. The staffs are doing it, chiefs are reviewing it, and we're hoping to get it out. Both Herschel and I reviewed it, started to make changes or suggestions, and we just need to hear from finance, and we should be ready to fire it back then.
I've waded through most of the 150 plus pages of the report. It's a good document, I think. It gives me, as a commissioner, a really good picture of the district, which I've been trying to grasp since I started here in 2016. And we've had little bits and pieces, and we've had starts and stops in our strategic planning and issues with having enough staff to even complete the work. And so I think it's been a huge project. I'm glad that everyone in the organization had some input and voice in it. And I can see some areas where we need to do some work, but at least we have a roadmap now, and I'm looking forward to the final report, which then will be shared with not only everyone in the organization, but the public or whoever else wants to take a look at it. So stay tuned. I think at our next meeting we'll have a presentation
Yes, that's my hope.
by the company that did all the work. Anything else on that? Paramedic contract, Chief Senator.
I've been in contact with Mike Hilly, and he's working on his proposal to us. He's calling it his kind of boilerplate language. I've also checked in with Chief Hewitt and Chief Hoffman, and they're gonna help me make sure that the pathway for payment is secure.
Okay.
He says sometimes the county, what I've been told is sometimes the county doesn't get it quite right. They'll take the work, but the payment is kind of hard to eke out of them. So I'm gonna have both of them review it to make sure that it will meet our needs as far as the reimbursement for overtime for our two medics going to school starting in January. So that will be, I'll have that for you to sign in December, meeting.
And I assume that Mr.
We'll get it
Davis's
to Mr.
office
Davis,
will
yes.
be reviewing that
We
as
will get
well.
it to me, as soon as I get it, it's not even gonna sit in my inbox. Once I get it back from Chiefs Hewitt and Hoffman, it'll go to Mr. Davis.
Perfect. And it's my understanding then that contract will cover the wages for backfilling for the two medics that will
Yes, sir.
be in
It's
training.
$103,000 each per student. So the number's already there, we just need to get the language.
Okay.
And that is in line with District 7 and the City of Elgin. So
Interlocal agreement with the city of Blaine.
We are moving forward finally with the interlocal agreement with Blaine. It's sort of broken out to be a 3-step process is where we've landed with this. The first one was some ordinance and code adoption of the fire code language with some amendments to it, and that happened at the last fire commissioners meeting, city council meeting. So that piece took place last week and a half ago, and so that's done now. So we did take our first step. Second step is for them to implement the fee schedule that we gave them, I believe, 4 months ago. They are waiting until implementation at the beginning of the new year for financial management raises. And so we are waiting for that to happen at the beginning of the year. And then the interlocal agreement, which we have had a couple meetings internally on and are waiting for the final meeting on that, and then there will be a contract that will be forwarded for review.
And we're using someone else for that as well, right?
Correct, yes, we are.
The fee schedule, is that something that is sort of a known regional type thing, or is that something that was developed on our behalf, or how did that come about?
It's based on a regional approach. The way there are many methods of doing funding for permit fees. There are set costs for certain type of work, like if you do a residential sprinkler system, it's X number of dollars. There's another approach which is based on dollar value of the work being done, and it's a percentage of the dollar value. We used Whatcom County's fire marshal's office, and so at City of Bellingham to structure our base hourly fee, and then we simplified it by doing a line item of each type of permit. Since the City of Lane is going to manage receipt of that income and permit fees, we felt like we wanted to make it simple so there wasn't a lot of decision making on the front counter staff's part, and the percentages would have been too complicated in a lot of situations.
Any questions?
No, that's pretty straightforward.
Next item is the interlocal agreement with Fire District 4. We met, I attended the District 4 Commissioners meeting on the 18th. And they talked about a resolution to put forward to us for a merger agreement. There was a document in our packet that Mr. Davis provided that had some question and answer stuff in there and some sort of boilerplate language for resolutions. District 4 was missing one of their board members, and so the two that were there, Harry and Anna, were, don't let me speak out of turn, but were interested in moving that process forward, but wanted to wait for Mary Beth to be there to sign off on that. I believe we agreed that we don't want this to drag on any longer than their next meeting, which will actually be the day before our December meeting. And I'm hoping that if they all sign that, then at December we can respond. The documents are in there, you can review what that means. And that would move this process forward into a full merger discussion and or move to a vote of their constituents. So for this merger to occur, it has to be voted on just by the District 4 population, not District 21. And then boundaries are set and it goes to the to an election. It sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Davis, that in order to meet the 2021 taxes, they would have to run that election in April versus as
Yeah.
far as August, they'd have to
Yeah.
get the April one.
Boundaries have to be set by August 1.
So if we do decide to do this, and there's information in ESCI's report which pretty much supports this happening, then the resolutions need to be moved through, and then a request to have it put on the ballot I would think would be the April, because February is the first one, and I don't think we're gonna be ready in February, but if we could be ready in April, then that moves it forward quickly enough to where the taxes are assessed and everything is set up to go for 2021.
That's correct.
Makes sense? So, we're waiting, we're hoping December we get that document, if not, I guess we continue in our current agreement.
Can I mention something?
Absolutely.
We're working on that right now. And one of our commissioners is contacting the Adelstein to see what the cost of it would be. And it can be very expensive on one of the smaller elections. It might be cheaper to wait for the larger presidential election. So we're running that down right now. On another front, we're trying to increase the income that we make. And one of those big items is the rental of our training area. The attorney has recommended that we don't just cancel it cold because of the fact that that has that mutual aid part in there. So we're checking right now with the Bellingham chief and see if we can make an agreement rather than just canceling it. It looked like the way to go.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
No.
I'm gonna miss the December meeting, and I don't know if you need anything from me or not ahead of time.
I think, we'll have a quorum, so.
Yeah, that's good.
Assuming we'll have a quorum. If you have any input before then, let us know. The documents are in our packet, so.
Okay, I can do
If
that.
you wanna look through that and have any questions answered or whatever, I think it was, a pretty good, QA packet, that Mr. Davis' office put together for us, answered some funding questions. And I do have a question, regarding the funding, because I know that District 4 has an EMS levy, but they tax at a much lower mill rate than we do currently.
And the fire levy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we merge, then the mill rate would go to what we currently charge, or can we reset that, or the county will reset it?
The
or
mill
how-
rate is adjusted after on page 5 of that memorandum, there's a formula there that you work through. It's essentially the highest actual levy of each of the districts, so over the last 3 years. And you add that plus any new construction, additional revenue, come up with a total highest actual levy times the limit factor, and comes up with a new levy limit, which if you work through those numbers, like if you were to use current numbers, you could find out how the rate would be adjusted, but it's your rate, the District 21 rate is gonna come down, the District 4 rate is lower. So one thing that could be done is, if there's not going to be an election, a merger election in April 2020, is District 4 could go out for a levy lid lift. That's one option, to try and bring their levy rate up closer to 21's.
Yeah, because my concern is if we merge, we lose the EMS levy piece from them, right? And so, that's 20, how much are you having there? Can't remember how much that one was, but it was 20 some odd cents, 29, 27, I can't
cents, 27 cents?
The EMS
Yeah.
levy, I don't know what it is.
I know
just
it's
know
in
that
here and I can't see
It is gonna go away now.
Yeah, it's in the rules about it.
Right, and so how we make that up, because right now, with them paying 1/4 of our operating expenses, if we lose any of that, we're gonna need more money. So, I'll have to figure out how to work that out. I think that's, for me, that's probably the biggest concern for a merger is the funding. If that comes together and it's a significant loss to us, we're gonna have to figure out how to make that up. So,
Okay.
I don't know if you've been able to do enough yet.
No. Not enough, so we can tell them.
I know ESCI, based on my preliminary reading of their evaluation, they felt that it was something we should do. So, we'll wait until December to see if we get
Is that what you're looking at right there, was the formula?
no, but there were at some point there were I read somewhere, and went, oh, you know what, it was probably in ESCI's report, that's what I saw. But I don't have that up. Okay, I knew I'd seen them somewhere. So anyway, they'll, if they send us a resolution in December, then we can discuss it then. Certainly will be an item of unfinished business for next month, and we can address if we want to accept that and move forward. Distribution of mitigation funds, Chief.
It was talked about in the previous commission meeting about using mitigation funds to replace two vehicles, the shop truck and an old command car, AB009. You asked previously for some numbers. We put together some numbers for you. I'm still kind of learning how this works. I don't have anything I can pass out to you right now, but so currently in the mitigation fund, there's $182,836,000. And we checked with Mr. Davis, or Mr. Davis had talked to us previously, kind of cleared this, how this works. It's identified the capital facilities plan that these apparatus need to be replaced or should have been replaced previously. So what we're asking for is one command vehicle, which would be a crew cab pickup truck. It would become Chief Rostow's vehicle, so it would be a command vehicle, plus it would be used to haul a lot of the equipment that he uses for his specialty, which is obviously fire marshal, fire investigation type stuff. It would be very similar to what you see from the fire investigators for the county, with the slide out tray in the back and canopy on a pickup truck, and still able to haul people, but mostly it's going to haul a lot of equipment and command stuff. The cost for that vehicle through state bid is $69,160.99. That is with a light package, with everything that is, and that's with tax as well. This shop truck, I can't remember how old it is, but if you've seen it, you know which one I'm talking about. For that, we've spec'd out or talked about purchasing through state bid as well, an F550 chassis, so it can replace, currently when we have inclement weather and it snows, we use our brush trucks as a plow vehicle. This last winter, we had a little bit more snow than normal. We actually ended up damaging one of our brush trucks using it as a plow vehicle. So this vehicle would be able to use the plow that we currently have with very minor modifications, and would provide a shop truck as the mechanics, I hate to say wished for, but identified that this is what they need to be able to do their job. And the total cost for that with the chassis, the box, everything is $75,924.74.
Does that come with some kind of a utility box, or do we?
Yes, sir. No, that's a utility
Everything.
box, everything.
Okay.
Yes. And also striping and lighting. I gave them the direction that it should have lighting similar to a tow truck, for being able to be identified on the side of the road if it's pulled over, so additional cost for lighting would be over and above, like say, a mechanic's truck. But those are that's the cost, or that's the proposal for those two vehicles.
How much money do we have available for,
$182,000.
$182,000.
so we have plenty of money available, looks
Yes, sir.
like. Yeah, okay.
Do we know what the sort of monthly, I know there's just a rough estimate on the litigation fees, what we're bringing in on a monthly basis?
So this year, we brought in 39,000, almost 40,000, 39,800 we brought in this year. The previous year was $40,000 in mitigation, and the year before that was $33,000.
So this would also protect our 5-year need to spend that money or lose it or have to pay it back, right? So use it or lose it kind of thing. Hey, sounds like we've done a lot of good research. I certainly know that the shop truck is probably going to be recommissioned as an ice cream truck in Birch Bay.
It's a little longer than 2. If they can make it that far.
Yeah. I like the idea of pickup, especially for our fire investigation unit. So, sounds like a cool idea. I've got no objection to spending the money.
I like the idea, and it's a 4-door pickup, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You know, I like that idea, they are very handy. Yeah, they'll work out well. And we do have enough dollars there to, I definitely don't wanna lose any money, you know, just because we're sitting on it.
So, I guess, we just need to agree to authorize you to spend that money. Do we know what a delivery, if they're state bid, or these vehicles
Yes, sir.
are race ready to go except for all the extra?
Both places have said 180 days.
Won't quite make
No,
it.
sir. Actually, the chassis for the shop truck is sitting in the lot. Whoever wants to drive that across the pass and whatever.
Is that 550, you say?
Yes, sir.
And 4-wheel drive?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I mean, do we need any sort of motion, or just say the board agrees to approve the use of mitigation funds?
That's what I would do, I would make a motion to approve the use of those mitigation funds for those.
I believe you did that last month.
Oh, we did?
Did you not do that last month or no?
I think we said that we were in favor of the idea, but that we wanted to see the final proposal.
Oh,
Yes, there was no.
Okay.
so we don't have a motion yet?
Nope, so if someone would like to make a motion to approve the expenditure of.
Can you give us the wording on that, and I'll go for that.
Sure. How about a motion to approve the distribution of mitigation funds to purchase a shop F-550 and a crew cab pickup truck as a staff vehicle. Do we need a dollar amount? I mean, I'm looking at roughly 145K, so I'm assuming if we said not to exceed 150,000 would be okay?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I came up with 144.
Why don't you just say an approximate amount of, because you've identified the two pieces of apparatus in the motion. That way it's a little bit more for whatever reason.
Sure. All right, so moved.
Second?
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thanks, Chief. Let's get some new rigs on the road here. to start. The ESCI document, when it comes out, is a very interesting read for the age of our equipment here. So, if you don't know what we're running, we're just running on a shoestring. So, come up with some creative financing. Any other unfinished business?
Where are we at with Sweet William on ladder truck?
We're in the, trying to make an appointment to go see what each other's gap is. Their shop wants to look at our engine, our shop wants to look at their ladder. We're just trying to get all the players arranged to have a busy week to get some stuff like that. So, I'll be meeting with the ops chief from Bellingham next Tuesday. And we'll come up with a better schedule and get things hammered out.
Jenny, we put that on the unfinished business. I was reading that. The report on the engine exchange for ladder with Bellingham on unfinished business for apparatus swap. All right, any other unfinished business? None, we'll move on to new business. Division Chief of Operations contract. At our last special meeting, we made the appointment of Chief Vanderveen to Division Chief of Operations pending the creation of review and signing of a employment agreement, which was actually in our packet a couple of times, so we have to read it twice. Thank you.
Pretty exciting.
We made some tweaks to the contract, and referenced the job description for the Division Chief of Operations, which we made a little tweak in language in that, which we'll have to reapprove. It was like 3 words we changed in that, but it's a change to the document, so we'll get that in policies and procedures. So, any questions or concerns about this agreement? I know it was reviewed in-house, and then also Richard Davis's office reviewed it and did some wordsmithing. I'm not sure Jason's even looked at it yet, but let's see if there's anything we need for discussion. I guess one thing that's brand new to this is a new 6.5 is educational requirements, and when Chief Vanderveen decided to take on this role, he was very forward with us in saying that he didn't have all the certificates and degrees and everything that is cited in the job description, and so we put language in there to waive a couple of items in the job description that were very specific for educational requirements, and then added an educational requirements section to the agreement, which basically states that he will go back to school when it's convenient for him in the district. And you'll see in our packet that he already has put in a education request, so that falls in line with this contract. So it's probably all to discuss. One more, sorry. The other thing is for the benefit of both Chief Vanderveen and the district, we will be recommending routine reviews and feedback as to job performance, et cetera. I know that Chief Andrew is interested in having it done, and I think it's beneficial to the district as well to get this pointed in the right direction. So thank you for allowing us to put that in there. So I think what we need is just a motion to approve the signing of that document.
Move to approve?
Second.
Any other discussion or questions?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. You want me to sign that today or with Rich?
I have it today.
Okay. Sign it here. Fire officer education request. Chief, you had the class that you wanted to attend. I have a letter. Do you wanna-
Yes,
yeah,
yes, sir. It's a collaboration with the International Association of Fire Chiefs and a grant provided by Motorola. It's called the Fire Service Executive Development Institute. It's a year-long course that meets in several stages. It layers education, but also, I don't want to use the right word as forces, but it encourages networking and also encourages mentorship from past graduates of the course. There's several projects throughout the year that go on. There's, I guess you could call it a capstone project at the end that's presented to the entire class. You go to the FRI conference, which is Fire Rescue International, which is kind of the big ICHIEFs conference at mid-year, and there's constant checking up and constant mentorship throughout this entire thing. Chief Hewitt from Bellingham is just wrapping his up and found it to be very useful as he moved up the ladder and encouraged me to check it out. And part of the requirement is that I get a letter from the board saying that you wish me to undertake this project. So it involves several classes that would be away from the district for a short period of time.
I was gonna ask you, how do you take the course? You know, you
It's-
sit in front of your computer, or
No, sir.
you go somewhere?
Yes, sir. You go to Motorola's campus, which is outside of DC in Virginia. That part is paid for. The only part that's not paid for is going to the Fire Rescue International. So Motorola picks up the tab for the education portion of it.
Good.
Great, thank you for looking into that. So basically, the chief needs a letter regarding his application for the process. The letter's been drafted here. It just requires a signature of the chair or vice chair. I just need a motion to approve this letter to be sent on behalf of Jason Vanderhoen for this course.
So moved?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous?
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate you, getting on. So local 106 labor contract, was ratified by the membership, a couple weeks ago now. Therefore, it comes back to us. I believe that, Mr. Davis wanted to talk about a couple things in the executive session. So, we TA'd the agreement, and there's always kind of some last minute wordsmithing. In fact, I think we're still, I don't know if they've finalized all the last couple of things that Kevin and Ken have been sending back and forth. And again, a lot of it is just clarification. A lot of things we did in this contract was it was nice having an outside pair of eyes on it because someone can actually pick it up and go, what does this mean? And we felt that if someone from the outside couldn't understand it or make sense out of it, then we ought to perhaps change the language around so that it's very clear to anyone, because, you know, they might not be here next time, I might not be here next time, whatever. And so we continue to do a little bit wordsmithing. The economic package certainly isn't going to be impacted or anything, but we need to pass that contract to our legal department for final review for form, grammar, function, any legal red flags that we may have stumbled on. And so we'll talk about that in executive session, and then I believe after that there will be action by the board on that contract. Last item under new business, unless I've forgotten something, is the fire chief search. As everyone was informed, interim chief Winchester separated from the district on the 16th and is pursuing other career opportunities, and we wish him well. Thank him for his time and effort here on behalf of the district. We have been talking about what we potentially might do for a long time, and obviously at this point we're without a full-time fire chief. Several of us have been talking, looking, shaking the tree locally, internally, flipping over rocks, looking about everywhere we can to find an appropriate candidate. And we did appropriate funds in this year, 2019's budget, to do a search. There's a few companies around that do that. Personally, I'm a little bit worried about getting the right fit for our department. Some of the companies that have been doing this have been having issues with finding good candidates. I believe the latest one they did, they had 3 finalists and they didn't select, the district didn't select any one of the 3 final candidates. We had the Blaine Police Chief search. We've had some searches here in the district, and I really want to vet this next chief really well, and for me that means the board, volunteers, paid staff, chief officers. We really get down into the weeds, I'll use that term, and make sure that we find the right fit. So if anyone knows of any potential candidates out there right now, we're working on that. And in all fairness to Chief Vanderveen, I don't want to throw him to the wolves yet. I think he's got some time to get some education under his belt and some experience, and it wouldn't be fair to the district or him to be saddled with this. We did that twice now, the last 2 times, right? Chief Purnett, that happened to him. Interim Chief Winchester, that happened to him, and I'll be the first one to say that we're looking, and maybe we need a new process. So, I don't know if anyone else has any ideas or comments, but my suggestion would be this, that we shake internally, regionally, until January. And if we can't come up with a viable option or candidate, that we hire somebody to do a search for us. So
I'd like to push that out to February, to the end of February. I'd like to see us put something on daily dispatch. I'd like to see us go out locally, with the press, and see what we get there.
Okay, so I'd kinda like to have maybe a fire chief search workshop, with the staff and the board, were available, and just brainstorm some thoughts and ideas. And, I wanna do this one right. We owe it to the district, we owe it to the employees. I don't wanna screw this one up. So, anyway, you guys okay with maybe doing at least a brainstorming session on, and creating a timeline and all that stuff?
I think that'd be best.
Yeah, I'd like to, I agree with you 100%. It'd be nice to do it right. And, when are you thinking about the time to get together?
Between now and our next meeting, so.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the first week of December, or I don't know when you're taking off.
I don't either. I think it's, say somewhere around the 14th.
Okay,
So-
well, let's compare calendars here before we all go home
Okay.
and come up with some, I know that, I failed to, say that, Chairman Bosman is excused from this meeting, and we did roll call.
Can you put me down for December? What's the date on December?
19th.
19th is the regular meeting.
Yeah, I'll be gone that day.
Right.
So,
But-
if you could excuse me for that day, then I could try and make this other meeting.
I don't know what calendars look like, but we'll do that. I think it would be useful for us to all kind of get together and share some of our thoughts.
Who do you want at the meeting?
Well, the board, the chiefs, I don't know. Richard, do you wanna be there, or are you happy to let us
If you.
muddle in our?
If you'd like, I can be there, but I'm not sure that I need.
Yeah, if we run into any stumbling blocks, we'll give you a call. I don't know, we'll decide,
for
we'll decide as far as maybe, do we want any of the, senior staff officers in that or not at this point? Let's talk about that.
If I could, sir, I don't know if this is the right time or during executive session, but I would like to speak about some concerns that I have about workflow and kind of just for a temporary period for the next few months while we do this chief search. You want, am I okay to do this now, or?
Yeah?
So, we were, as I think is evidenced a little bit by the ESCI report, we're a little over our head. We were over our head 2 weeks ago, and now we're a little deeper than we were before. Chief Rostov and I have spoken at length and feel that it would be very beneficial to us to have someone move into the position that I formerly occupied on a temporary basis in the ops position. It would be lower level than I ever did. It would be more into scheduling, day-to-day operations. It would assist us with the Battalion 76 rotation. Even the, I just want you to both know that we feel like that is a minor problem, but it is one of the things that we do. More than anything is that we feel like we've turned the ship around and we're making connections and engagement with our employees on the floor. And we can already tell by this week that we're losing that because of the amount of work that we've got to do in the office. I want to make sure we keep that. And part of that is just getting out and being with the troops, whether it's training, mail runs, doing the day-to-day operations chief stuff. And I would like to recommend that we put together a temporary position for the ops chief again, to fill the gap between now and the time we hire an actual chief.
I think, if I can interject, I think his position definitely needs to be replaced. That's pretty important.
I understand there's a cost to this. Absolutely understand the cost of this, but I feel it's that important that we have to keep this momentum going. And a big part of that is allowing us to do the new roles that we filled into, but also allowing those things that the ops chief should be doing to continue to move forward.
So would there be a selection process, or is this just an appointment?
It would be similar to what we did with my position. It would have to be something we talked to the union about, but I believe that in my head, it would be a letter of interest in the interview with the chiefs.
Thoughts? Something needs to be done. I don't know, you know, as long as we do something like what we did with Jason, so that we're not deviating.
Same working agreement, same everything. It would just, hopefully this one will be actually a temporary position.
Probably have to
Yeah,
put a
be-
time limit on it.
6 months would be what, at the outset, would be what I would say. I don't know how much success you're having in shaking the tree.
I
You
got
know,
some ideas.
how long it takes Brockman or whoever to get spun up and get their thing started, if that's the route we end up going. 6 months would be kind of what we figured the earliest it could reliably be, so that's what we put in this position.
I like the idea of having a sooner sunset on this one, because it holds our feet to the fire, so to
Right.
speak. And if we just say 6 months to a year, then we'll drag it on for a year. And so, I think if we have a very specific goal in mind, and that forces us then to make a decision about getting a chief in here, as well. So, I'm in favor of moving forward with that process and you meeting with the local and figuring that all out
Are you looking first of the year or sooner?
Sooner.
as fast as we can.
Pretty much. Like I said, we've got momentum. I don't want to lose it. I'm afraid by burrowing into the office, we're gonna lose it. So I'd like to keep someone's feet on the ground and keep them in contact with the troops and keep that line of communication open. And communication is one of the big things that's been identified in the ESCI report. And this would help us with what we started.
I'm okay with it.
I am too, yeah. And I encourage it, yeah.
So if we're creating a new interim position, do we need to have a motion then to, allow the chief to move forward with creating a new interim
I don't think so. I
position,
think,
or it's just
I think you just give
an
direction
operational
to the
issue?
interim chief to go on that path, and then hopefully there'll be an agreement what we need to prepare, but at this point, just direction.
Go forward.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for, keeping us informed of the challenges that, are faced on a daily basis here. I know that, we want this process to succeed this time, very much so. So we need to be supportive of anything that will make that happen. Is it? Go
Sorry,
ahead.
just a couple other things, just to follow, I'm not sure if this is in the right spot, but, just wanting you to know the GEMT paperwork's been submitted,
Okay.
so that is done. It's been submitted to the state.
So there was a deadline of November 30th to apply for our 2018 GEMT reimbursement?
Yes, sir.
And that paperwork was passed along and has been submitted. Thank you.
And then we did end up going back to the company that does the paperwork for us, that we've contracted with, to change the name out, just so that there was no, you might remember there was an unsigned portion of that with, Joe Winchester's name on there.
Oh, right.
And then we swapped that up, we just felt uncomfortable doing it any other way, so it's got my.
It's got a new signature page.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, and then also, we had talked briefly about some of the issues, like with policy and procedure, and then we've reached out to Lexipol at a presentation by them. And it's gonna come in at under $10,000. We're looking for some discounts that might come through our risk assessment company, through Clear Risk Solutions. And also, we're gonna get a presentation on some inventory management and shop software. That was one of the big holes that was also identified in the ESCI report, which I realize is still preliminary, but since we're kind of recrafting the budget for our presentation due in December, I wanted you to know that those, if you're reading that, those items have been seen and are being worked on. So,
Very good. Never ends.
not yet.
Thank you for your work. Is there any other new business? Policies and procedures. We have the Division Chief of Operations job description. The only thing we just changed, I think it's more of a grammatical correction, but we did change it. We changed we're on, in 6.4, we just add education equivalent of a degree. Just kind of cleaned up the language. So basically, it's the same policy. We changed a couple words, and we just need to reapprove. I love to renumber these things. Maybe when we get our new policies and procedures, they'll actually make sense.
Yeah.
So, we need a motion to approve Fire District Policy 0400.003.00. This is the job description for the Division Chief of Operations.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. I don't know where those numbers came from, but I'm sure it made sense at one point. Correspondence, we got some thank yous from tour. We have a community toy store notice, donations needed. And I guess actually that last, did you keep that one?
I gave it to Mr. Fisher.
What was it?
The flyer, no, down underneath, one more over there. So I don't know if you're available or interested to go to that. So Fire Commissioners 101 is a good course. Do you know who's teaching that one? Sure, maybe. Talks about Title 52, Fire Districts, RFAs, Public Records Act, RCWs, Open Public Meetings Act, Fire Service funding. So it's a great course, and actually some of this is required training for new commissioners anyway. So at least Public Records Act and Open Public Meetings are now state requirements, if I'm not.
That's correct.
So that you have to actually go and be in the class and take the test or whatever it is that you have to do. Get certified, so.
Shoreline, January 11th.
Stick around for you to take that test twice when you were down?
Yeah, at least. I'm special. Board meeting attendance on the 19th. Larry, you said you are gonna be out, gone?
Yes.
Okay, I know that Rich will be here.
Yes.
You'll be here? All right, I'll be here.
Got a quorum.
We do. We do. And, Mr. Fisher, you're welcome to attend that as well on the 19th if you're around. For those of you who haven't met or know, Scott's our soon new to be elected fire commissioner to start in January. Thank you for being here. Any other public comment? Stand up. So, we're gonna break for executive session, per RCW 42.30.110G, to evaluate the qualifications of an applicant for public employment, and actually we'll be also meeting, on the, contract agreement. I don't know what the RCW is for that one, but we'll add.
I'll add it.
3140.
Thank you. Do you, how much time do you think?
10 minutes.
Okay, so, we're gonna say, well, let's take a 5-minute break and then go 20 minutes in executive session, so.
And you are going to have business, you are going to make a decision.
We will need to vote on the contract, or at least make that public when we return. That's, I believe, the only action that we'll take is, a vote to approve or not approve the TA labor agreement. All right. Thank you for your attendance. We'll take a 5-minute break and then we'll be convening here in executive session.
Take care.
Thank you. We'll see you.
I was just gonna give you guys
My name's Kathy Beckler.
update on.
Congratulations.
Danny.
Thank you.
Danny.
Taking the job.
It's always nice to not
because of John being a member of Local 106 and all that, we're all in favor of it. We just want to do it. So we'll probably, we can talk about that.
Okay, you guys have fun. See you later. Thanks for saving my life.
Sorry, we don't breaking the law again. Are we reconvened? We're on. Reconvene after executive session at 2:45. Sorry for the delay. I think we took an extra long break. So we've discussed the particulars of the collective bargaining agreement and just about ready to ratify it when we realize that one of our board members up here is a member of Local 106 and usually abstains from voting on contract issues, and so although we're all in favor of the current agreement, it probably wouldn't be fair or appropriate to vote with this makeup of the board. And so we're going to say that at least the three of us here are in favor of the agreement. There's a couple of outstanding wording issues that I'm not sure if Kenneth and Kevin have completely worked out. I don't know from your end if you know that for sure.
My impression was that was pretty much wrapped up.
Okay, and then we had one other clarification recommendation by our attorney, which we need to pass back to Kevin and Kenneth. It doesn't change anything of the economic package or anything like that. It's just, again, a clarification piece. So,
Kenneth's out of town for the next couple of weeks, correct?
Pardon me?
Kenneth is out of town for the next couple of weeks?
That's news to me, I guess.
And I just flew out the other morning, I believe he said he's gonna be back sometime early next year.
So anyway, I misthought this through when I said that we would take action, but we aren't going to. But be assured that we are in favor of it. We will square away the last little bits of language. And then our intent would be to, because if we go to December meeting, Larry's gonna be gone, and then it'll be the other three of us again. And so, when we hold our fire chief search meeting, we'll have a special meeting to adopt the collective bargaining agreement. And then we'll have the right makeup.
We'll have the whole board.
Yes,
Yeah.
we should.
Yeah.
That's our intent, but I'm sure you'll abstain as well. So, anyway, sorry for the pump fake here, but.
Just due to it being monetary for you guys, so it's best that I just stay clear of that.
So, agenda items for the next meeting, we have, the new ambulance. This is like,
This is
the new?
2020.
Okay, all right. How about the old one? The existing one? We're working on that.
Main service.
Alright. Budget approval, public hearing for the budget approval, SCBA, is that gonna be ready to go then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then I asked,
The Bellingham apparatus walk.
master plan is gonna be on that. You think we're gonna have the medic contract by then? Okay. We're still doing the interlocal? This unfinished business is just unfinished.
And I actually don't expect to have news for you for that
Okay.
meeting, it would be the meeting after.
Okay. You'll just hold, District 4 interlocal agreement will be back.
Mhm.
Mitigation can go away. Let's see, division chief is off, Communications, contract will be off. Fire chief search, I'm gonna leave that up. It'd be nice to give updates. Okay, sign some documents. Go home.
Yes.
It's a weird. I think I'd be like more excited to try to open it, so. It's me, but it was. Thank you. Yeah. Something like that.
This file right here is just for you.
Oh, I feel smashed all so special. And these are just for you.
Perfect.
Get that,
I give them both green, unless it, there was a. It was it was a brother, I just one.
get them?
Well, Lisa and I went there. So, Rich, dinner, and steak was, actually, I think I got to. Exactly. So she got to.
He needs a lot of vacation.
I had one